Hi folks, it's me again from Retired Guys Journal. Thought I'd do another day of fishing and talk about retirement some more. So a lot of people, sadly, the only thing they have coming in is Social Security, and depending on how much you paid into it is a factor of how much you'll get every month. A lot of people are expecting to retire on Social Security, and that's simply just not going to happen. It's not going to happen, not in today's economy. I mean, the only ones who can successfully probably retire on just Social Security, they're forced to move out of the country, like the Philippines or Mexico or somewhere in South America where the cost of living is drastically reduced. I have several people I consider my good friends that live in the Philippines, and some of them live very well on just $1,000 a month. You know, get your little apartment or something like that, or a little house. You can get a house over there for, depending on where you're at, for $300 or $400 a month, and your money does go quite far there. But unless you're willing to pack up and move to another country, it's, you know, you're pretty much limited. So you know, it goes back to the question: how much do I have to have before I can, you know, retire? Well, one nice thing about it is by the time you reach retirement age, you realize just how unimportant all the garbage you've been hauling around from house to house actually is, because you're really not interested in stuff anymore. You just want, basically, if you're anything like me, I don't care anything about material things anymore. You know, I chased after all that garbage, and you realize just how unimportant it is when you get older. Basically, when you get older, the only thing you want is to live as comfortably as you can, and that doesn't require, you know, buying new cars. And there's a fish jumped over there. I should go over there. But anyhow, you use a lot less money as far as material things go, but then you have to worry about, well, now I'm older, and now I got all these health issues, and so the medical system and the pharmaceuticals and all of that, they eat up all your money. So, you know, you're kind of like, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. But one nice thing about it is, as you get older, you will realize that material things don't mean much to you anymore. You just want enough to live comfortably, go out and have a dinner every now and then with your friends, and enjoy a cup of coffee, and, you know, companionship with your buddies and friends and stuff like that. That's what's more important. And that's why people that do live in the Philippines, a lot of what they call expats, they're able to go over there and live actually a really good life if you can stand the heat and the humidity, which I definitely probably could, because I'm used to it living down here in the South. But they have camaraderie, and they meet every so many days or whatever and get together with all their friends. They're real close, kind of like this country used to be back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, before everybody got to worshiping the almighty dollar. And let's face it, we kind of have to do that in order to survive. And today I feel so bad for young people, because, like I was saying before on my previous video, it's those kind of jobs where you get one when you're like, say, 19, 20 years old, and you work there all the way until you retire, they're gone. And like I said, unless you're with some kind of a government job, they're pretty much gone. So you'll probably change the average person will probably change careers 4 or 5 times before they reach retirement age. And, you know, and if you're not paying yourself, which is something I used to try to instill in my kids, no matter how much money you make, you have to pay yourself before you pay anybody. So that means, you know, you take whatever amount that is, whether it's 5%, 10%, 15 or 20, preferably 20, you pay yourself and you put that away into a 401k or whatever, some way of investing that money to have that money work for you. So when you do retire, you'll have a nice nest egg. And it can be into millions of dollars if you start early. But the thing is you have to do that, because when you change jobs, it's not like that money goes from one job to another. That's why you have to pay yourself first. So if you young people are out there watching this or something like that, try to keep that in mind. Even if it's only a few dollars a week or however often you get paid, whether it's bi-weekly or monthly or every week, pay yourself first. You have to do that. You know, even if it's only a few dollars is a few dollars and it adds up. You know, and you can do it. You know, just quit drinking that Starbucks coffee and grab you a can of Folgers at the grocery store and drink that instead. You know, that $7 you're spending every day on a coffee, that stuff adds really, really quick, you know. Over a 5-day period, hell, that's $35 right there. You know, $35 times 4, that's what? $140 a month right there you could be putting in the bank. And that's just from coffee. So you don't realize how fast that stuff adds up. But you got, you know, people have different levels of what they want when they retire. Some people, they want that great big house, the fancy cars, and the trips and the vacations. Well, that's fine, but that all comes at a big price. But I will say, and pretty much everybody I know my age and older and maybe in a few years younger, we really don't care about that stuff anymore. Me, I'd be real super happy living in a log cabin in the woods, a 2-bedroom log cabin, you know, real happy, and it wouldn't require much money. But at the same time, you know, other people, they want what they want, and of course, if you want that kind of stuff, you have to plan for that now. It's you can't wait until you're 50, unless you have you're going to expect to inherit a bunch of money or something. And with the way the world is in the United States now, people aren't doing that anymore, because it's taken every dime that your mom and dad had just to survive, because the economy's not hitting just you, it's hitting your mom and dad too, so it's killing them. So you have to keep that in mind. Kids, I think, really should do what they did back in my day when we were younger. College wasn't for everybody, or wasn't something that everybody wanted. We focused on trades and stuff like that, learning a trade. Hey, do me a favor, wherever you're watching this from, would you post where you were watching it from, what state, what country you're in? I'm just curious about that. I think it'd be fun to know. And you know, what's your opinion on retirement? I mean, this is just my opinion. I'm just a common guy. You know, I worked my whole life. I was at Air Force at 17 years old. I quit high school, and the Air Force made me they wouldn't let me get a GED. They made me get a high school diploma before I could re-enlist. So I finally graduated. I graduated from high school like a year after I joined the Air Force, because I quit in my senior year. I wanted to go to Vietnam. I was kind of crazy back then. Nothing's changed a whole lot. Now, there's a guy I know that lives in the Philippines, and he gives really good advice, I think. And if I wasn't married, I would go over there in the Philippines. I'd live like a king. I would literally live like a king. Because these guys are over there living on $1,000, $2,000 a month. But, you know, the wife has no desire to live over there. And healthcare is not the best over there. There's a lot of people, you know, they're getting up in years, you know, those guys over there, and some of them are having health issues now, and the medical advances and stuff aren't that great over there. So a lot of them, when they have serious health issues, they have to fly back to the United States, and a lot of them, they just don't have the money to do that. Fortunately, you got people like, I'll go ahead and mention his name because he's a hell of a good guy. Paul McGill. He lives in the Philippines, and he has a channel. It's called Old Dog New Tricks, and he gives really good advice, and he's helped expatriates who were really down on their luck, and he kind of organized or got followers of his to donate money and help out individuals. There's one guy in particular, I won't mention his name because I don't want to embarrass him, but he's doing quite well now. They ended up getting him back to the United States to where he could get back on his feet and everything, because a lot of guys, they go over there and they're too young. They have no income. They have $20,000, $30,000, and that's a lot of money. But they think they can wait it out on that 25 or 30. They're 50 years old or 55 years old, and they think that money's going to last them until they can collect Social Security. Well, maybe it would, but it requires a lot of discipline to, you can't go out and party and stuff like that. You got to live super simple. You got to do the math, you know, and they don't. And of course they go belly up, and then you got to have expats like Paul and Don, and I won't mention Don's last name. He's a real good friend. But it takes guys like those to pick those people back up, because, you know, fortunately, Paul, he has the income to, he lives very well. He lives modestly, but he lives very well. And it's people like him who are taking care of the people who get in way over their head over there. So my hat's off to you, Paul, if you watch this, and to all of your ornery buddies that you have coffee with. I'd love to come over there and spend a month or two and just kind of hang out with you guys, because you're all good. You're good people, and you have that camaraderie. You just don't have that here in the United States anymore. And Paul, you spoke on that, and it's true. The United States is not what it was. It used to be that way in this country, but now, you know, it's kind of like everybody's out for themselves, and it's a dog-eat-dog world over here, and it's getting worse every year. I mean, I live pretty comfortable. I mean, you know, we have this nice place and everything, but it required over 50 years to get it. And then once you get it, it's like, it's okay. It is what it is. I mean, I know a lot of people, Well, they come up here all the time and talk about, man, it's nice up here, you know. Well, yeah, but it's just stuff. There's a song Johnny Cash sang from 9 Inch Nails, and he kind of owned that song. He took it over. And even 9 Inch Nails says that song was meant to be sung the way Johnny Cash sung it. But it's called, I'm sure everybody's heard of it. If you haven't, you need to listen to it. And Johnny Cash is the kind of guy, he had it all, you know what I mean? He had it all. But the song's called Hurt, and you know, it says, you can have it all, my empire of dirt. Because you realize when you get older, none of that stuff means a damn thing. Well, that didn't go very well. Did you see that? I'm casting one pole, and I snagged the other pole, and I broke the daggone line. Son of a gun on that other pole. Well, ain't that great? If that's the worst thing that happens to me today, I'll consider myself lucky. So as a matter of fact, this empire of mine, we plan on selling it because it's getting too much for the old guy to take care of. And we'll move somewhere where the climate's a little friendlier in the summers and a whole lot harsher in the winters. But the nice thing about being retired is I won't have to go outside when it gets really cold. But we want to scale down because I think my wife's finally tired of living like this. You know, it's nice, but there's probably only about 20 million people who wish they had my problems. But like I said, you know, at our age, we just don't. It's just why be a slave to something else? You know, I'm a slave to this daggone house. It takes a lot to keep a place like this up. And then I'm running 2 air conditioners every single day. Our electric bills are just completely ridiculous here because of that. So this is just a video of me just thinking out loud, guys. So take it for what it's worth. If you get something out of it, great. If you don't get anything out of it, you think I'm a complete idiot, that's great. I don't really care. Just rambling thoughts. I'm all over the place. So this video really has no purpose. Just one retired guy's thoughts. You know, when I was a Cub Scout, my mom was our den leader. And then I was in the Boy Scouts for a short time. And I wish I would have paid more attention on how to tie knots, because I suck at it. But like I've said before, you know, when I go, when it's my time to go, of course everything I have will go to my wife. But she knows my feelings on leaving things to the family. I would rather see it go to people who doesn't have anything and give them a chance at a life, because our kids are doing very well. and they don't need anything. And I'm happy for them. And I think they would rather see if we have anything left by the time my wife passes, that it went to actually help somebody else, somebody who got dealt a really raw score in life. Like we foster children, and none of them are coming from a good place, you know, put it that way. Various different problems, and reason why we have to foster them. Matter of fact, we're getting a little boy, and matter of fact, he might even be here now. Let me see. Supposed to get a little boy today, 9 years old, who was assaulted by his cousin. And that's about all I know about him. We don't ask about the kids other than what the caseworkers tell us. And we could find out more, but it's not going to matter to me why we have them. And I don't ever ask the kids if they volunteer something. That's one thing, but I never ask them. I never ask them anything personal, because it's painful. You know, who wants to talk about that stuff? What I do is I try to make their experiences here as pleasant as possible. And like this little guy that we're getting today, he, like I say, he might even be here right now. I don't know. I'm out in the boat fishing. But if he likes to fish, we'll go fishing. If he likes to go camping, we'll go camping. And if he's in school, we'll make sure he gets to school every day and gets home safe and has a safe place to come to. He'll have his own room, his own bedroom, and 3 ornery dogs to play with. The kids always love the dogs. We've had, oh my gosh, how many foster kids have we had in the last year? Oh man, let me see. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think this little boy tonight will be 9 that we've had this year. And I haven't seen one yet that didn't absolutely go crazy over our dogs. But, you know, it's a way for them to get away from their problems that their mom and dad may or may not have, or various reasons why they're not living at home. Like I said, I don't ask. They tell me, and it stays between them and me, or me and my wife. We don't pry. But yeah. And I think you should, if you're in a position to give back, if you have a giving heart, that you should, you know. There's a lot of people out there, and like I said, I'm 70 years old, for Christ's sake. If I can do it, anybody can do it. But there's a lot of retired people out there who are living pretty daggone well. They could be helping people who really need it. And that's kind of my church. That's what I do. And you can't buy your way into heaven. It's not by your good deeds. But if you can make somebody's life better, and you know, there's various ways of doing it. My way is with the children, because I have a soft spot for children and children and elderly people. I can't stand to see either one of them abused in any manner. You want to get on my bad side, that's the way to do it, really quick. But see, let me see, we talked about you know, why make a separate video on everything? I'll just make one video, just throw the whole kitchen sink in there. We talked about just about everything you can talk about. And I like you guys, you know why? Because you're good listeners. I can't get a word in edgewise because my wife don't want to hear it, because she goes, I've heard all those stories before. Well, you know what? Listen to them again. Amuse your old man. You still there? I got you propped up on my tackle box over here, and then I just, without realizing it, because you're like family, I just pick up the tackle box because I'm looking for something and throw you right in the sink. So it's not a very good way to treat company. Apologize for that. So the other little boy, Ahmad was his name, or is his name. And he was from Louisiana, and how he ended up down here, I don't know. Never did find out, didn't ask. But anyhow, good news on little Ahmad. He's the little boy I think I told you about that was missing his left hand. Never found out what the story was behind that either. But anyway, good news on him is his daddy came out from Louisiana and picked him up. So he's now with his father. So that's a success story, because every child, the best place for them to be is with their mommy and daddy. And luckily, his his daddy wanted him and came and got him. Now Ahmad has 10 brothers. Not counting him, he has 10 brothers and sisters. So I don't know if his dad is the father of his other siblings, or if Ahmad is just his only child. But anyway, it is great news that his dad came and got him, and that he will be living with his dad now. So we only had him 3 nights, and I think that's why my wife was open to getting another child so quick. So, and we get children of all races, well, mainly black and white, mainly black, because we're down here in the South where it's, I think it's 70% of the kids in the system are black. But race don't mean nothing, doesn't mean a damn thing to me. Kind of like the song that children's Christian song goes, it's kind of, whether yellow, black, or white, they are precious in His sight. And that's the way I look at them. Kids of all races have their problems, and if I can make their life better, I'm going to do it. Or at least give them a safe place to call home until they get squared away. Like I said, we were going to adopt this one little boy, but I wanted him, but then I had to start thinking about him instead of thinking about me. And as hard as it was, because the wife and I both wanted him. He's a precious little guy. But as hard as it was, I had to tell my wife, I don't think it's fair to the little boy. Because every day I get is a gift, and I really don't see me living long enough to see him grown up. So, well, he needs to be adopted by somebody that's going to love him like I did. I hope that happens for him. But they are instructed to keep me posted as to what happens with him, because I am not about to see that kid go back into the system. I want him to, whether I'm old or not, I'm not going to let his life get destroyed. Not if I can help it. But we prayed on it. It's just, you got to quit thinking about yourself sometimes and thinking about the other person. I was already spoiling that kid. You know, he's never had a bicycle in his life, and I went out and bought him a bicycle. He was just like on cloud 9, boy, with that bicycle. He loved that bicycle. But we'd go to the store and say, "Can I get this? Can I get that?" And some would think, well, you ungrateful little brat, you know. No. Here's a kid that got a chance to be normal. And he was so young. We told him, you call us whatever you want to call us. So he called me Grandpa Rick and my wife Grandma. And so if we did adopt him, we'd be kind of like his adopted grandparents. But he wasn't shy about asking for stuff when we'd go to the store. And that was kind of nice, because he would have never, when we got him, he was a mouse. And quite frankly, I don't think he ever had anything new in his life. Everything he had was passed down. We take him out and got him all new clothes and some fancy tennis shoes, stuff like that. Then I had another little boy I really liked, and he had a lot of problems. But he had 2 brothers, and we watched them. We took them too, because we didn't want to separate them. We had all 3 of them. His 2 brothers were kind of a mess. And the one I really took to, he had a speech impediment and stuff like that. And he got picked on a lot. But he was a real sweetheart. When he left here, he was a completely different kid. So it's rewarding, guys. It's, you know, if you choose to do, you retirees out there who are just sitting in your house and you got it made, they telling you what you should or shouldn't do, but if you can make a difference in a kid's life, or heck, in the elderly person's life, like, you know, you go to a rest home and visit those people, they really enjoy it. You know, I think you should do something like that instead of just sitting on your couch all damn day long and getting fat and stupid. Help out your fellow human being. Because there's a lot of people, they weren't gifted with the stuff you got. They never got the chance to even get the stuff you got. They never had the opportunities that you had. And those are the people where my tax dollars should be going to. To the homeless people on the streets and stuff like that. before we start giving money out and trying to save the world, how about we start at home? Because you know, you can't help anybody until you're in good enough shape to help somebody. Well, you can't help other countries out until you take care of the problems we have here. And then you can take care of other people from other countries. But let's take care of our own first, you know? Kind of how I feel about it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know where you're watching from. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Yeah. She just went into that back bedroom. I think we got us a tenant. Well, what do you know about that? I thought we were going to take a break from fostering any more kids for a month or two, but that lasted 2 days.